Hey, hey, everybody. This is your girl CT Connects. Yes, it's me. Listen, I'm going to give everybody a chance to get their notifications to know that I am live. How is everybody doing? Um, I'm really, really happy to be here. I know it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to everyone. Happy Mother's Day to, like I've always told people, I don't have any children, but some trees provide fruit while others provide shade. All in all, it's helpful for survival, right? So, yeah, y'all, I'm just here. I wanted to spend some time um, just kind of encouraging everybody, talking to you. Um, Let me see here. Giving everybody a chance to know that I'm here. When you get in the room, give me a shout out. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're rocking with a sister. Because we're about to have a really good conversation. I know y'all have heard of Arlana Miller. Everybody's talking about her today. It's really sad. It is. I'm sad about it. I am, and I don't want to say I'm sad about it like that, but it's definitely something that I can't turn a blind eye to. Um, she is me. This girl was in college, 20 years ago. This girl is in college, a lot of accolades, a lot of successes. Um, and with life comes some stumbling blocks, y'all. That's one thing I had to realize. Like, the older I become, the more I'm starting to, I guess, understand. And that's natural. So I wanted to do this tonight because I'm hoping and praying that it'll reach some of those of you, especially the young ladies who are in college or even in high school, um, any age really, who just need to hear somebody say, I understand. Sometimes we can be hard on ourselves, and we're so hard on ourselves. And, I used to think by me sharing, it's hard to share yourself, first of all. It's never an easy thing. So whenever you're, going through things and, everything on social media, everybody seems like they're just, they're fine. Everybody, you ask them how they're doing, everybody is good. And I'm telling you, it's like, I don't know what to say other than everybody's not always good. Everybody's not always okay. They're going to say they are, but in hindsight, they're really not. I mean, and it's not to say that you want somebody to be feeling bad, or I just want to talk reality. She did leave a message. And I have that letter. I think they've removed it from social media, but I do have that letter. And I'm going to go through that letter, and it's actually going to be the substance of our discussion tonight. I see you, Elliot Big Top. Elliot, I should send you an invite. Let me send you an invite. Are you available? First, let me ask you if you're available. Elliot, I want you to come on with me. Yeah, hold on. I'm still here. I'm trying to see if I. Y'all, I'm on YouTube. I'm sending something out to Facebook. Yes. I don't know, y'all. Like, it's really kind of bothering me because if you guys started with me in the beginning, you know that I actually began to show this my platform as a means of encouragement. Just simply sharing my story, my personal life, um, and it makes it's not easy. Y'all can probably feel the vibe, right? You feeling my vibe? But it's really really not easy, to really talk about, which is why it's probably hard to help other people, um, because if people just keep it real, and it's hard to keep stuff real with people because there's so many phonies. So what happens is you kind of pull everything in, and so you can't trust people. So then when everybody's like, oh, how are you doing today? I am blessed and highly favored, or I am fine, or it's like, and I get it, you can't share everything with everyone. I totally get that. You have to protect yourself. um but whew, you have to have enough faith in someone other than yourself that you can be 1000% like transparent to. Um, and I know that's hard because it's hard to trust people, but I named this title Permanent Decisions, Temporary Circumstances, and I'm waiting to see if Elliot is coming. Elliot, are you here? I'm looking. I don't know. I didn't even know if you said you could come in or not. But I did send you an AOL, I think, invite to your AOL. Like, yeah, I took an hour to even go live. Like, it took so long because my nerves just like um it's hard. This is a hard topic. So listen, sometimes you go through things and to you is the end of the world. You can't see a way out. And then you have to pause, and then you have to breathe, and then you have to think about what you've already overcome, what you've already, think about the most difficult thing that you went through already, and think about that feeling of despair, and then compare it to, oh, well, you know what? I felt bad like this before, and I came through it one time. I can do it again. Gotta do it again. I have faith. I have strength. I have people that surround me that I really know love me. And I know it's deeper than that. For anyone that's never really, I don't even like to use the word suffered, or struggle. Like, my voice is shaking, y'all. This is so different for me. Whew, this is different. Because I don't know what to say. I know how I feel, but I don't know what to say. I'm literally losing my breath trying to talk because it's a hard topic. A lot of people can't help other people because it's hard to talk about in a way that encourages, and not just encourage, because encourages something that is not needed when you're depressed. You need something bigger than encouragement. Um, but because I've understood it, and so one thing that Arlana said was, strong people, check on your strong friends. And maybe that's why we get this, because we are strong, strong enough to get through it and then be able to pour and help somebody else. So that's why I'm here. I'm going to pull that strength up. Somebody must be praying for me. So, okay, I got some strength from somewhere, y'all. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this letter. I was really, really struggling there for a minute, though. I don't know if Elliot is here. Elliot, are you here? I don't know if he got it, but um, yeah, y'all. So listen, this is where we are. This is what's going on. So she had a letter that she left, and I'm gonna read it and kind of just go through it with everybody, and we'll talk about it from there. Feel free to chat in. If you want to join me, just say something in the chat, send me your email or something, and I'll try to get you on. All right. So it says, "May this day bring me rest and peace." Phew. Okay, I think that's Elliot. Thank the Lord. Because I started shaking again. Hey, Elliot.
What's going on, Cynthia?
Hi, I'm so glad you're available.
Oh yeah, I'm good for a minute here.
Okay, good. Thank you. How are you doing today, by the way?
I'm all right.
Yeah,
Doing
good,
pretty
good,
good.
good.
Yeah,
Yes, yes. Well, I'm here. My voice is a little shaky. I'm a little, all over the place, but I'm really, really
yeah.
glad that you're here to be a support system. And this is just a prime example, y'all. There's a ram in the bush somewhere. Elliot is in California. I'm in North Carolina. I have
Yeah.
never met him a day in my life other than what you see. And when I tell you that, like, you just gotta have hope, and and just know that there's something, someone out there that do totally get you. So I'm gonna get into this letter so we can talk about it real quick. So this is about Arlana Miller Elliott. She's a young lady who passed away from depression. Um, she pretty much threw herself into the river, the Mississippi River. And so, just to kind of give those of you who aren't familiar with this story, had you heard of it, Elliot? Have you heard of this story?
No, not until I heard you talking about it right now. Yeah,
And
that's very
Elliot, I
sad.
usually try to do stuff that's positive, but this is really, really sensitive. This is, I'm here for this reason to help others. And so just to kind of give some backstory to who she was, because I definitely want to focus on who she was, not this part of her, but who she was. A college cheerleader, and I'm reading from Yahoo News, y'all. A college cheerleader who had posted on social media about her struggles with mental health was announced, passed deceased Thursday, raising concerns about an alarming pattern among student athletes there. So, if anybody over at Southern U, listen, I'm Louisiana. My mom and daddy both born and raised over at Allen Parish. My daddy over there right now. Like, please, y'all, like, tag everybody in every college. I don't care. All right. Arlana Miller, 19, was a cheerleader at Southern University and A&M College, a historically black school in Louisiana. They talk about the community being saddened. She was a freshman majoring in agriculture on the Baton Rouge campus, y'all. She's a native of Texas, and she was one of the Southern U cheerleaders. I mean, beautiful girl, beautiful girl. When I put the flyer up, I'll definitely have her photo up there. She was a beautiful girl. And so, long story short, she had some posts up about, I guess, what she was going through and how she was feeling, just showing, her struggles. And I commend, and I'm so sorry that I didn't know her or see any of her posts before now. Oh, I'm so sorry. I wish I could have just seen one of her posts. Um, but she posted up stuff on Instagram, and it basically was kind of giving signals and hints to what was going on. And like I was telling everybody, we always say, well, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. But you're really not good. So then when something like this happens and you're like, what the heck happened? I just saw them and they was cool. Well, we got to stop lying to the people that really care. Like some people, John, like, are asking you, how are you, just because it's formality. But then, some, like, if I ask you, Elliot, how you doing? It's not just formality. I'm good, but we're gonna talk later. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to learn how to
Yeah,
communicate better and transition. You know what I'm saying?
right. Seriously though, um, it's too nonchalant, and I think it's become like too big of a thing. In the nonchalantness of it. I mean, it needs to be more serious. Maybe sometimes with more in depth, ask more questions.
That's a really
That
good
definitely
point.
help.
That's a really good solution, because that's what we're here for, to not just talk about the problem, but also provide solutions. Because there's so many people talking about what the problems are, what's dilapidated, who's doing this to whom, and who died with this woman on top of them. Listen, my word, listen, we got some people that's alive that we need to focus on, okay? Like, I thank God for everybody Everybody is a tree. I mean, everybody, we're a branch on this tree. We have a tree and there are many branches. Everybody got their weight to pull. For whatever yours is, amen. But for this one, I'm going to help provide some solutions. And if I don't have solutions or what I think is a good solution, I'm going to find somebody that can help, because we have to have solutions. We have to help people understand the breakdown, like being real. It's too much stuff, like you said, nonchalant. So there were several female student athletes that have recently captured national attention, specifically from that school. Arlana made an impact on our team as a cheerleading coach in a short time. Her cheerleading coach said she was extremely dedicated to her sport, a tremendously hard worker, and a warm and engaging young woman. She will be missed. Our thoughts are with her family, her teammates, and her friends. Yes. So we do send prayers to her family, her mom, who she talks about in the letter. Her teammates, her friends, people that grew up with her in elementary school, everybody that's affected by this. I just pray right now that, you feel the prayers. Last month, Elliot, they had a 21-year-old Sarah Scholes. She was a runner, not there, at the University of Wisconsin track and cross country. And James Madison University, a 20-year-old Lauren Burnett, and they have other people. I mean, and this is just like in a month.
Wow, that's
Elliot,
definitely yeah, that's a lot.
Elliot, in a month. And then
Yes,
we're
almost
not
like
going
it's
to forget Regina King's son, Ian
yeah,
Alexander. We're not going to forget Miss America, the black chick that jumped off the balcony. So they say.
yeah. It's a lot of people not really being honest about how they feel, but it's a lot of people who like you said, in the world who don't really care. So it's hard because those people are like needles in a haystack to find honest people who really care about the situation. Most of the time it's just for them to have some type of entertainment about a person, and they make it worse.
Yep, yep, exactly. So yeah, I want to get into this letter because this is real, and I think people also, Elliot, are going to social media, and I hate to tell y'all, but social media, those are not your real friends, y'all. If you're really sending, so if you want to send a subliminal message, because I'm gonna be honest, when you're strong, when you're anybody in your head that you think you're strong, you're not gonna broadcast it out there to people and say I'm weak. It's something that's hard to do, you know. But social media, those are not your real friends to send a subliminal message to when you really need help. When you really need help, that is not the place to send a subliminal message. Send a subliminal to your mama. Watch she figure that thing out and call you in point 0.3 seconds. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I know
True.
sometimes, yeah, with family members, sometimes you got to know you can reach out to the right person, because you don't want to reach out to the wrong person and you already feeling down. And then they're angry that you're feeling depressed. Well, what you mad for? You got this job, you got this money, you got this degree. What you mad? You don't want to call that person. Mm-mm.
I think that's what's happening a lot. Actually, it's funny you said it. I think that's like the status pro for that. Like to say stuff like that to people, like oh, like you have more than other people, and that's it. But that's not it. That's not solving the problem at all. It's
Exactly.
making it worse. Just because you have things don't mean you're happy.
Man, you said a mouthful, like my granny them used to say. You said a mouthful, okay? So I'm gonna get into this letter. I know I keep talking about it, but okay, here we go. May this day bring me rest and peace. This is a letter left by Arlana Miller. I have found this urge since my early teenage years. I gave this life all the fight I had. Poor baby, 19 years old. That's all the fight she had. To everyone who has entered my life, I'm so grateful, and I can only imagine how this may find you. I have been surrounded by people who may have honestly thought that I was okay, but I haven't been okay for a while. I struggled so much through this year alone, from COVID to tearing my ACL to nearly failing all my classes To all the people in my life, I pray you learn to vocalize your feelings and get help always. I failed at that, and I'm afraid it's too late. And in all caps, she has, Mom, thank you so much. I pray you know I'm at rest now. You would have given anything to see me happy. You have given everything to see me happy. I'm happy in the water where everything is still and peaceful. I have written so many that word notes in my life, but finally I've reached my end. Y'all, I'm sorry, it's a little hard. Okay, I hope it teaches everyone to check on your strong friends. Remember, Elliot, she says this. I hope this teaches everyone to check on your strong friends. Woo! Be present always. I'm contradicting myself, but never give up. I know that I'm letting a lot of people down by what I am about to do, but truth is I've always already let down so many people throughout my life, and it just feels unbearable. I've lost my connection to God. The devil seems to have won, and that's okay. I blame no one for this. I thank everyone for all they've done, and in all caps she says, I'm sorry. I'm so so sorry. See, that's what depression do. You can't even get out of your own head. But thinking about how everyone else would feel about my death is not enough either. And it's not for those who have dealt with this. I get it. I understand. I've tried to please and make everyone else happy my entire life. I've been dead inside for too long. To everyone I love, just remember that this is not your fault, and I pray you don't find guilt in my situation. To my granddad, I wish you were here to tell me I'm being stupid, to tell me it's not worth it. But you've left me and found your own peace. I've always been stubborn and prideful, just like you. I've always dreamed of becoming so many things that I am today, but they just aren't enough. I'm not enough. I haven't felt enough for a while. But I say all this to say I'm done fighting. My battle is over. And I pray everyone finds peace in that. And she has a heart. Elliot, your thoughts?
Uh, it's kind of tough um, because like she needed the help, but it just wasn't there, I guess. Like you said, she's in her own head, and it was hard for her to get out. Depression is really major, even at young ages. And then as being a sports player, you get hurt, and that's your whole future. And that has a lot of impact on the person too. But some people see that as less, but to that person, it's everything. So and then some people are happy to see that you already had a bunch of people doubting you, and instead of trying to lift you up already. So it was already tough, and you just kind of, it's almost like people lose understanding in themselves, and after that, it's tough. You know what I mean? Because I haven't had all bright days myself, but I was able to fight through it. But for some people, it don't work out like that. It's very sad, and condolences to her family and her friends, her real ones.
Yeah. And, that's the thing that stood out to me. She said, y'all check on your strong friends. Check on your strong friends because everybody expects the strong ones to be strong. And even like you said, when an athlete gets hurt, or someone who's kind of made it a little bit better off in life, when they go through something, it's almost like people, we got to realize that they probably, I can speak for myself. When you're so used to being, when I was in school, I made all the good grades. I was the girl they put up in front of church to encourage my peers, to do good in school. At school, I was selected to be a mediator, meaning when there were, rivalries and gangs or whatever fights might be trying to happen or already happened, they would call me in to help, balance the equation. And even in my past life, in DC, I found a lot of comfort in just kind of being strong for everybody else because, you become acclimated to what you are, and it's second, you're not thinking about it. But here's the thing: who did the strong go to?
That's a very good point. Very good point. Because when you're strong, some people envy that because they're not, strong, themselves. And, so that also makes it tough. And then the other person who's being strong might not be having a strong day. So, that's where it gets complicated.
Exactly, exactly. And so, this is a time when I realized, when I went through the things that I went through, it didn't just start. Like she said, she had been dealing with this for, since her teenage years. I don't know how early in her teenage years, because she's still a teenager, at 19. But, there's a series of things that happen in life, right? And these occurrences, they occur and they kind of become embedded in our makeup, into our psyche. The emotions of what we went through at that time kind of becomes branded in who we are, in our personality. And I don't even know what the solution is, because sometimes, if you're a child and you have a parent, your parent want you to be so happy. And as a child, we just want to please our parents, right? So I'm not going to want to tell them, I'm depressed or I'm not feeling good. And, and it makes them angry, or, even someone else. So it's kind of like, who do I talk to? Like, and you feel crazy because you do, like Arlana said, you look at what you've accomplished. She's like, I accomplished everything I wanted to, but it's still something missing, you know? And it's like she says, she's disconnected from God, but that's the lie in it all. That's the lie in it all. See, he never leaves us. He never does. In fact, when we feel like we're all alone, is usually when he's the closest. There's a scripture that says, his strength is made perfect in my weakness. So it's kind of like this mind game I had to play with myself. So growing up, I had my own insecurities, came from a broken home, things that I, watched growing up, things that were, really, really hard for any child to go through, right? And then you end up getting successes. And then when you get to a point and then something happens, and then you got to start all over and reset and re-identify yourself, then yeah, it messes with your head. You really start trying to figure out, like, what is this? Who am I? Like, when I had my moment and I got to the hospital, the nurse, she told me, she said, I don't think that you don't want to live. I think you just don't want to live in this situation. Like, I think you want to live. I think you just don't want to live in this
That's
situation.
that's that's it. That's it. And sometimes a fight to get out of a situation, uh, you know, some people struggle with it more than others. Like you said, it's a mind game, and it's tough. And it depends on, like you said, support, how you feel that day, um, you know, where to look to find help, all resources, all type of things like that. It all goes together. You're exactly right, though. That's what it is.
Yeah, I agree. And it's something because, when you get to a point where it seems like one thing after another, that's life. It's always going to be some, like, you know, instead of concentrating on the problem, focus on what you were able to tackle. Like, I had a good friend of mine when I was selling houses in Maryland as a realtor. I was working, before I got my license, I was a office administrator at Coldwell Banker. And, there was one of the realtors there who was trying to quit smoking. And I would ask her about her journey. I was just so curious, right? And so one day she told me, she said, you know what? I haven't smoked because my doctor told me the darnest thing. And I'm like, what did he say? And she said, he told me instead of focusing on when I failed and had a cigarette, be thankful and rejoice and make a big deal about when I choose not to. So it's kind of like it's that mind game. It's like if you are strong, then be strong enough to like not let your mind be more powerful than you. Your mind should not be able to control our physical. The mind is a powerful thing, right? But if we're strong, I'm about to use some
Yeah.
reverse psychology, right? I'm about to use some reverse psychology. If you're strong or your mind is strong, then your physical be stronger than that. You got to raise up. When your mind is telling you to go out here, I just saw something, girl in Greensboro got mad, was drunk, and ran over these people at a gas station. This was like a couple of years ago. When your mind, and of course, when you have alcohol involved, your mind isn't working properly. So y'all might want to think about that too. Alcohol is not the best thing to introduce into your life. Alcohol is a depressant. They call it a spirit for a reason. I know that's the first thing everybody want to do. It's time to turn up. It's time to do this. But you gotta, if you're gonna do it, then have common sense about it. Have some dang on sense. If you're gonna drink, know it's gonna make you depressed.
Yeah, and that comes with not being able to control your liquor, and that comes with that. Some people shouldn't be drinking as much as they do. They get lost in
Right.
alcohol, and then from there, it could be a very bad day or night. You know what I mean? That's one thing I always watched out for. People who can't control their liquor, it leads to disaster, no doubt.
Every time. Every time. Every single time. And so going back to, Arlana's story, it's kind of like, you have to understand whatever you're going through is temporary. The sun comes up and it goes back down. There's another 24 hours coming, right? So if you can just make it through, and sometimes y'all, I'm gonna be real with y'all, for especially for those of you who are feeling me right now, for those of you who have been there, and by you listening to me, I know what the heck I'm talking about. I'm about to tell you some real, right? There are times when I had to get through each minute. Elliot, I set my alarm for 5 minutes at a time one time. Tell me why. To remind myself to think a positive thought because I was so heavy. I was crying for no reason. Everything that I have done wrong in life or didn't have going on in my life that I wanted, everything was just, it was just the worst thing ever for my life. I was just the worst piece of crap that existed. I'm just a blob here that exists on this planet. I'm just taking up space, you know? And I had to fight that the same way they were prescribing pills to me that was pulling my hair out, that was making my hair fall out and making me vomit everywhere, that was making me feel more, yeah. The same way they were prescribing me something, I had to physically prescribe myself something. I had to take control. I'm not leaving I can't leave my stuff into the hands of somebody else. I know they went to school for it. I know they get paid a lot of money for it, but they also get paid a lot of money to push some of this stuff. So I got to be responsible for myself if I'm serious. So this is a message for those of you who are serious about surviving. If you serious about surviving, then it's nothing to keep playing with and dibbling about, well, I felt this way, it went away. Whew. And then you wait for it to come back. That's like somebody walking around with a gun and then you just sitting there and wait for them to come back. No, when them thoughts come and you get over it, then you start figuring out right then and there on your up what to do the next time it comes. You got to put some gas in the tank. Otherwise, you're going to be on E and it come back again and you can't go nowhere. Right?
That's the truth. That's really the truth, man. Like that's one of the things that very important. Though you have to realize that I'm not there no more, and I need to stay away from that. And you got to do what you have to do while you're in that good mood to realize how to gain more good moods without having to go backwards. You're exactly right. That's a
Because what
major part of
happens
it.
is because you get stuck because you feel you're so thankful. And for those of you who are feeling this, you're so thankful when it passes, right? That you sit back waiting. It's like being PTSD. Like you sitting back, like I'm so glad that it's gone, but then there's a part of you that's kind of waiting, like scared for it to come back. Like it's a robber coming to get your house, and you don't know when he's coming, right? So it's kind of like, no, don't give nothing that type of power, from your diet to sleeping habits to what you read to what you watch on TV to your friends to, hey, your career. Let me explain something to you. You have to, I prescribed myself. So I was so depressed. Every 5 minutes, in fact, I was doing 5 minutes, y'all, and that was too long. I had to take it down to like two. Every 2 minutes, my alarm would go off. And it was like, and my alarm would, you know how you can label your alarm? It would say, I would say something on that alarm. So when I look at the alarm, because I be done forgot that I did it. So when I look at the alarm, it would say something to me, like, like, like you got this, girl, or be strong. Don't forget who you are. Think about what you've already. It would say something to me like that to physically counterattack what was coming at me. So I'm in that thought, then my alarm go off. Boom. It's like a weapon. Bah, 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 my alarm. Boom. You see what I'm saying? It's that serious, because when you, like Arlana, when it's that serious, you gotta be serious. I can't sugarcoat it. You got to be serious. And I was shaking in the beginning because I don't want to share this stuff. I don't want to share this. This is my weakness. This is what I go through. This is the stuff that I have to do. But guess what? If I can save an Arlana or anybody else, a Lauren or Ian King or, whoever else, then it's okay. I'll get through it. I'll get through it. It's okay. And like y'all saw me shaking and trembling, guess what? I kept going. Then what happened? Elliot popped up, felt my help coming through, felt it in my shanana. So I'm like, at the end of the day, you got to be able to say, I'm not going to allow my mind, I'm not going to allow my thoughts to tell me what to do. Because if you think about it, El, if somebody coming at you, right, and they want to punch you, the first thing that you're going to think about is the feeling. First of all, though, it ain't like you don't see what's going on and you just feel that way. No, you see something that entered into your gate, whether it's your eye, whatever it is, right? Something you saw made you think, I need to be afraid. That thought leads to action. Once we learn to be in front of our thoughts, we will begin to overcome what happened to Arlana, the attempt that I made. We have to learn to be stronger than that. And whatever listen, if you on medication and that's working for you, amen. For everybody, that's not their thing. So for me, thank God for places like DC and California, and I'm going to leave that at that because I'm not in those states. But y'all know what I mean. For anxiety, we got CBD here. But what I'm telling you is there's other things that you have to, red dye, I stay away from red 40. Red 40 is known to trigger certain neurotransmitters and chemicals. It agitates you. It agitates me. I stay away from red dyes. Leave that fruit punch alone. V8 splash is good. I drink it, but it has that red 40. So when I drink it, just like I'm saying with alcohol, I got to be responsible. If I'm taking in a lot of red dyes, I know it makes my body respond away. So I need to know I'm going to be in a stank mood. You see what I'm saying? We got to take control.
Yeah, I didn't know that about the red dyes. I just learn something new every day. You have a lot of knowledge when it comes to health.
And that's why I want to be here, because it's stuff that we're eating. Like sometimes we thinking something wrong with us, and it's stuff that we're consuming. It's things in the atmosphere that they can't really say can affect us. Just like, okay, let's talk about the medications, right? You got a medication to make your nose go smaller. Well, then you take the medication to make your nose shrink, but then that medication is going to cause, and it's going to say may have side effects. You might go blind, your wee-wee might fall off, You know, you go, yo. And so at the end of the day, they can't tell us that about everything, but the knowledge is there. You gotta listen, you gotta be real about it, right? If you're gonna be honest about it and really hit this, then go check it out. Go see, okay, this is what I like to eat. Let me see what's being said about this. Now, if you like that red dye more than your mental health, then fine. But I'm gonna sleep good because I haven't told you about it. So then you have the choice. But you have to understand that there's help. You cannot make a permanent decision off of a temporary place. The sun goes down and it comes up again. For some, not for all. For some. And so at the end of the day, I just wanted to come up and share with y'all, my heart's desire to just share my heart's desire to help. Like, there's so many things that I had to do from my diet, aspartame, phenylacylene, those diet drinks, all those artificial sweeteners are so not good. They enhance stomach ulcers and cancers and tumors. It messes with your pancreas. It messes with your gallbladder. It messes with your liver. Um, it's so many things. A lot of all those dyes. I said red dye 40, but all of those dyes are horrible. And you got to have something to eat, right? So I get it, but you got to know what you're consuming so that way you can say, okay, well, that's really out of control and I didn't know. So I don't have to have that. But okay, I might can have 5 Doritos, like you got to figure it out. But listen, y'all, tomorrow is always promised. It's just, is it promised to you? Are you going to make the decision to say, I know I feel like today is the day that I need to give up, but I'm going to play Russian roulette and live another day. I'm going to go another round. For anybody that's watching this and you're really, really struggling and you're really, really feeling that way, then this is the only thing I ask you. Give yourself 24 hours. Give yourself 24 hours. During that 24 hours, use some of those tactics that I know it sounds crazy, but guess what? Taking all those medications, people call you crazy anyway. So go ahead, do those crazy things that I shared. I'm on YouTube, Elliot, finding funny things to watch, clips, doorbell ring clips. I'm finding people falling. You sent me something the other day with the chipmunk stuck in the staircase, you know, I'm literally sitting in bed the other day, y'all, like this. I don't even know why. I just felt it, right? And then what I do, Elliot, I just did this for no reason. I'm looking crazy at the TV. My roommate come in. What are you smelling? What are you smelling at? Well, I was frowning and starting to feel like something was trying to come on me. So chemically speaking, when you smile, there's certain shifts that happen in your body that release those types of chemicals that you need to make you feel better. Smiling fights depression. I can't, I'm not, Elliot, have you seen anybody crying and smiling at the same time?
Yeah, around where I am, it's quite a bit of that. So
Wrong answer.
it's people trying to find people trying to fight everyday struggles, man.
Yeah.
For real.
But
Some
that's
people like
real
really
though.
are trying to beat that struggle. So you're gonna see them smiling and and kind of sad at the same time, but they're trying to defeat it with a smile. It gets
Yeah.
tough.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's true because that's true because I've been at a funeral and I'm crying and then somebody, you know, hi, and it's a smile. But sometimes it's like I can't smile at you, boo. I can't give myself nothing. What you think I'm gonna give you a smile for? And like Arlana said, she said, you know what? I just wanted to let y'all know. What did she say? She said, I blame no one for this. I thank everyone for all you've done. And I'm so, so, so sorry. But thinking about how everyone else would feel about my death is not enough either. I've tried to please and make everyone else happy my entire life. And so you do get to a point because I remember my father, he told me, and happy birthday to my daddy. I'm here, daddy, for your birthday. God kept me. Pastor Aaron Taylor, y'all, down there, Shiloh Baptist Church, Oakdale, Louisiana. But listen, my daddy said, do you know how much that would have hurt me? You know, do you know? I thought you were stronger than that. I thought you were better than that. And that hurt me worse. I mean, as a parent, I know what he was doing. But from the other end of the spectrum, I'm speaking to those people who really feel me now, right? That only makes you feel worse. I get it. Because to everyone else, they look at you in this light. So when you're not there, that feeling of rejection is like, wow, like, how, you don't, it's weird, and I don't think they mean for it to happen, but you've been accepted all this time with the accolades. So when that accolade is not there, how are you going to be accepted? And you can't get caught up in other people's feelings because you're so stuck in your own head. You don't have the space or the energy in your head to care about how your mama gonna feel, how your daddy gonna feel, how your best friend, how your kid. Like, and I'm not saying that from a perspective of being insensitive to those who have been left behind, but I'm saying that I'm trying to help people understand the thought process. It's not that they don't care, it's that it's so over, it hurts them more to think about how it would hurt you. So the thing in that, for me was not saying, well, how strong you are, but it's okay. And what I'm saying right now, think, okay, let's figure this out. What is it? I feel like this, I feel like that, and I don't even understand why. And I'm sick and tired of myself, and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I just want to go somewhere and disappear. Okay, let's figure that out. How can you disappear? I mean, there's something that somebody can do somewhere, to be a resource for you. So anyway, y'all, that's all I wanted to say for this evening. Again, our hearts and thoughts and prayers. Hey, Pitch Green, QC DJs Radio. Hey, babe. Y'all make sure that you keep her in prayer, her family in prayer. She said that she lost her connection to God, and that's just a trick of the enemy for those who believe in God, for those who were raised in the church, whatever your faith is. If you feel like you've lost that connection, then that feeling right there is proof that you haven't. Because the enemy isn't going to try to make you feel that way, because remember, he's the father of all lies, right? So if he's the father of all lies and you feel like you've lost your connection to God, why? We got to remember that's a lie. The enemy wants you to believe his lie, just like that dude, ladies, that's lying to you and going over and seeing Boo Thing Mother's Day. He got you, and yeah, that lie. I need you to understand the devil is a liar. So whenever somebody is coming at you and trying to tell you what you're not, and trying to make you feel like you're less than, and what you feel, you know who you are, but then this is making you feel like that's not. Look at it for what it is. It's a lie. It's a lie. You have to stay
Exactly.
connected. Go ahead, Elliot. Yeah.
No, I just want to say what you're saying is the truth. Um, it's you have to really push. You can't let the devil win, man, because people are always going to count on you letting the devil win. You know what I mean? And even if you're starting to do better, some people can't let it go, and that's just all the devil that's in people. You know what I mean? So you got to realize and be able to recognize, what I'm saying, who's there for you and who's really not at the end of the day. So you got to be careful with
Exactly.
that. It's all you. You need to make sure that you are that you're recognizing that God is first. No matter what, the devil may be strong, but God is almighty in the end.
Yes. Absolutely. Almighty. Absolutely. Wow. Well, listen, y'all, we want to make sure that um, you know, I am Cynthia Taylor is my Instagram. Elliot Big Top on Instagram. CT Connects with an S, brands with an S at gmail.com. Um, if you connected with this message, and if you feel like there's no one else that you could really talk to in that way, make sure that you send me something. I don't want the next Arlana. I don't want the next college student, to not feel like they can't trust or talk to someone. There's so many counselors. Everybody in every state has counselors. Everybody has 800 numbers, and definitely reach out to them first because they're licensed and they're the ones that can really give you all the resources that you need. But if anything, if anyone does reach out to me, just know that I will be passing you off to one of those entities, so you can be handled properly. And once we've connected, so Elliot, thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really needed you, fam. I'm so glad you were here.
Oh yeah, it's all good. I'm always here for you. Oh, I want to say Elliot Swole Top Jenkins on Facebook is where you also can find me.
Yes, yes, yes.
But yeah,
Elliot Swoldog.
but yeah, much appreciation, and just keep thriving. You know what I mean, and trying to help people out. And if we can change that one life, that one life is what counts. You know what I mean, and hopefully we can really change many more. That's what this is about.
Yes, absolutely. Well, listen, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in, jumping in. And for anyone who's going to see this later, please share it with a friend. Share it with someone because we want to encourage, you want to motivate. I don't know it all. I don't. In fact, you don't either. So, how about we just take our little bit and bring it together and help each other out? Okay. So, love you guys. If nobody told y'all today, I love you. Elliot, I love you.
I love you too. Right back at you.
All right, y'all. And thank y'all so much for tuning in. Make sure that you like and subscribe and share and help, like Elliot said, just one person. All right. Goodbye.